W.I.T.C.H.E.S, and we have a special guest today with us. I'm Rays. We have Kings and
W.I.T.C.H.E.S.
all right. And Kings is a fellow friend of ours that I have just recently gotten to know.
Amen.
So I thought it would be a great first male to bring on the podcast because he's very respective. He respects people's boundaries. He's very gentle. He doesn't have like that toxic masculinity going on.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
He ain't got that going on. So I thought it, and it's women intentionally teaching, creating, healing everything in self, right?
Amen.
So this is what the podcast is about. He's not new to this life. He's lived a million lives in one, as we have as well. So, King, why don't you tell us a little bit? You got a lot going on.
I do.
Yeah, so tell us about you.
Multiple jobs. I'm a Jamaican. Got about 8 different occupations. Chiefly, though, I'm a barber at 2818 North Vanderbilt Avenue. I can give you a good fade, good taper, good whatever the hell you like. And most importantly, I own a cannabis consultation firm. And what that is a firm that is built towards removing harmful drugs off of the streets and creating quality cannabis options for people that want to engage in cannabis without being in danger. I'm also a poet. I'm a lover. I love life. I love people. I love things. I love it all. And I'm just here to be an honored guest on the podcast as the first male ever. So I kind of let the ladies guide.
Come on with it.
I am Guru Labruha. I am an intuitive reader. I am a spiritual healer. You can follow me on YouTube at Guru Labruha. I also enjoy some good spell casting, okay? So if you're looking to protect yourself, cleanse your home, do a little ghost busting shit, hit me up, okay? Hit me up. I'm that chick. I ain't scared no ghosts, okay? That part.
All right, y'all. Okay, so now that we have all spoken, we have all agreed on the topic of boundaries and forgiveness.
Yeah.
Boundaries and forgiveness.
Which, wow. Coming from a person that has had to live a million different lives, you change your boundaries as you grow, right? And different positions in your life require you to move differently and set different boundaries with people. And like learning them boundaries and respecting them and having people around you that do respect them and respect your growth and ain't trying to like keep you in one spot because that's what they're accustomed to. That's what they benefit from. That's what they like is you in this version of you. You know what I'm saying? But them type of people is the ones that's going to hinder you.
Definitely.
So, I remember when I was getting clean, they would always be like, if you're in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, break up, you need to figure you out. And you know what I'm saying, your whole relationship's based off of drugs and all this other stuff. And right. But like, I was like, but that wasn't like the case. Right. So, I realized then that everybody's circumstances are different, you know, and you got to find what works for you.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes.
Well, I guess I should say something about boundaries first. But when I think about boundaries, I think about limits. Because boundaries are definitely limits. Boundaries as far as respect is concerned. Even your boundaries as a person, what you can and cannot achieve. Boundaries, to me, speak about limits. In terms of respect, there are definitely boundaries. There are definitely thresholds that you shouldn't cross.
Yeah.
when it comes to the respect of the next person, or like she spoke about, accepting the next person. Boundaries are definitely important because I live by boundaries. We are all bound to a certain thing. When you're bound to a certain thing, that means that you are encompassed. You live within that thing. So if I'm bound by spirituality, that means I'm living within that spirituality, and I can't go outside of that realm.
You can't go outside of spiritual principles.
Right. Pretty much.
Right.
One thing I always tell people when I talk about boundaries is, like, you got to think about it like a rubber band. A rubber band is a boundary, right? When you stretch a rubber band out of its normal circumference, it's uncomfortable because it's never been stretched that wide. When you stretch a rubber band out and tie it around a wad of money, the rubber band is uncomfortable because change and changing your boundaries are uncomfortable. But if you can be like a rubber band and accept the expansion of those boundaries, you can grow to new heights, because your boundaries are not going to always remain the same. Like she said, your boundaries change. Yes. If you reach a new elevation in the universe, then your rubber band is going to stretch. And as uncomfortable as it may be, you have to accept that this is a new boundary, that you're reaching new heights.
Yeah.
So I love boundaries. And I guess we'll get to forgiveness next. Boundaries, ma'am.
Boundaries for me, I set with boundaries, and I asked myself the question first: what person, people, places, or things awakened me to seeing where boundaries needed to be set? When I asked myself that, I was really perplexed because a lot of them were close to me. So I'm like, wow, But ultimately, I had to understand that I'm not who I used to be.
Right.
I made a lifestyle change. This wasn't temporary.
Right.
Not going back. So if they couldn't respect who I am, then I have to move on.
Right.
And I can still love them. I forgive you. And may you find your way just as I did. So here's my definition: being bold outside of unequal nostalgic dreams and reality in its evaluation of reprogramming self.
Repeat that.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
Being bold outside of unequal nostalgic dreams and reality in its evaluation of reprogramming self.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was heavy, but it was ultimately freeing.
I cannot wait to talk about forgiveness.
Yes.
I'm geeked over here.
Come on.
Well, go ahead, because it's going hand in hand.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is.
It was a beautiful topic choice, by the way.
Yeah.
Y'all ever seen that movie Man on Fire with Denzel Washington?
Yes.
Yes. Thriller.
Yes.
And it was one point, because he was watching the kid or whatever, and it was one point where the mom had said to him, because he was on a revenge path, he was knocking everybody off that did something to the kid or did something to the family. Yeah. And the mom came to him and said, "You ever think about forgiveness?" And his response was, he said, "Forgiveness is between them and God. It's up to me to arrange the meeting."